Hey everybody, it's Barry Kleiman. Today's segment is the first official segment called "Welcome to Training Camp," and there's a quote, as you can see, from Muhammad Ali, who hated it, but he said, "Don't quit, suffer now, and live the rest of your life as a champion." And yes, I keep quoting giants and so forth to make what I'm trying to share with everybody else anecdotal to some people who have been there and done that. Yesterday, I quoted Arthur Ashe, the great Arthur Ashe, who said, "Start where you are, do what you can, use what you have, and do what you can." Very important. And so the whole idea is, and the other thing I shared yesterday was, you don't know what you don't know, but you do know what you do. What does that mean? It means you have a lot of knowledge. None of us know what we don't know. None of us have crystal balls. The whole point of this entire program is to really get you to circle your own wagons, right? And make sure you're really clear about every little nuance about yourself that you possibly could be clear on, and work from there. This entire training camp series will helpfully hope you do that. Helpfully hope you gain clarity. We've talked about clarity. Dr. King said you're never going to see the whole staircase, but you need to see the first step. Seeing inside yourself is the first step, right? If you want to move forward. We talked yesterday about competing, and it's not about pulling other people down. It's about lifting yourself up. Coach Wood said, "Those who prepare to or fail to prepare or prepare to fail." So that's really what this is all about, right? And I've asked you to do a little bit of writing, because the writing, the chronicling of this, and I apologize if you've heard this before. I got to. This is foundational to what the process that I believe will work and has worked so many times and has worked for me when I fell. But I've asked you to talk about a time when somebody helped you and write it in your book. Just any instance. Remember that nobody does anything alone. I asked you to write about a time that you competed with yourself, that you had to get over the top of something that you were not good at or afraid of, or whatever it was, just to prove to you that you've had victories. And now let's drill down. That's what training camp is about. Training camp is here to help you sharpen your skills, to sharpen your knowledge of yourself. Jon Gordon, great author, wrote a book called Training Camp: What the Best Do Better Than Everybody Else. And so, in the spirit of writing, you'll see on your screen there's a bunch of questions that Jon. They're not questions. They're a list of what Jon said. What the best do better than everybody else, and it's everything from they want it more. Are they consistently striving to get better? They maintain a big picture while focused on specific action. That's what this is. They're mentally strong. They have clarity of vision, of purpose. We talked about that in previous segments. They don't measure themselves against each other's. Again, not pulling people down, but lifting people up, lifting yourself up. Tap into a power greater than yourselves. Mentors, giants, stand on the shoulders of giants. Um, um, uh, uh, Inspire excellence in others. Become the model by which people around you measure themselves. Um, it's a process. Um, we're having solar installed in our house, and I met with the engineer yesterday, and then an inspector, and the engineer said, "Barry, you're one step away from getting solar started." And the inspector said, "Are you sick of the process?" And I said, because I've coached, and because I've done what I've done for so long, and including stuff like this, I get that everything is a process. I think the biggest lie we can tell ourselves is there's a straight line to success. But if you grind into process, that's what this is. You will help yourself, but you got to put in the reps, right? I'm not going to pretend that you don't. Um, but again, to be clear, this is not me wanting to live your life. In this training camp, the only rule you make is you make the rules. Uh, you're the only judge. You're the only overseer. This is again for you by you. You decide how progress is measured. You hold all the whistles and stopwatches and clipboards. All I'm trying to do is provide you some framework. You're going to judge yourself. Um, and have fun along the way. So all those other questions, these questions here, I'll leave them up on the screen for a minute. They want it more, constantly striving to do better, and everything else. You can copy them all down. If you write to me, I'll send you a PDF with all these questions there. But rate yourself as you know yourself today on all these things. Do you want it more? I'm not sure. Do you tap into a power greater than yourself? No, sometimes I'm shy and I want to do it by myself. Look, again, I'm not looking over your shoulder, nor is anybody else. But if you provide a framework for yourself based on some of the parameters that some other people before you, some smart people who are versed in the process improvement world, you'll get better. Or if you don't, you'll stay the same. Not on me. For you, by you. It says so at the bottom of the page. What do you want to happen? So again, this is all about, as Coach Wooden said, being competitive is to be at your best when your best is needed. Um, I've talked to you about breaking thinking down into tiny habits. Having tiny is genius. Don't you can't, again, Dr. King, first step, not the whole staircase. If you go through this, you might hate every minute of training like Ali, but he loved being a champion. So as the quote at the bottom says, don't quit. Live the rest of your life as a champion. Um, and again, Ali was a giant. We'll keep exposing you to those things, but for you, by you. So where's my journal? Get out yours, please, and start writing notes to yourself. They're your notes. You don't need to share them with anybody else. But this is what I guess, begging you to do, and hoping you appreciate these things. I'm doing my level best to add as much value as I possibly can to help you win the fifth quarter here. The clock ticks, right? But there is time on the clock. I said it to a client and a friend the other day. I said, we have the opportunity. You can't ask for anything more than now, to have a chance to play. That's all any of us could ask for. So because we do, then let's optimize it. That's what winning the fifth quarter is all about. Okay, stay safe, everybody. I hope this makes sense, and we're just going to keep moving quickly now, but it's on you. Get to your writing. Thank you.